Welcome to Hope from the Word. I'm Pastor Mike Swenson. Have you ever found yourself going to work one morning and only to find out that the task you have at hand is one of the most undesirable things that you ever would want to do? I would say that most people who have worked a job know what that's like. It doesn't even have to be at your job. It could be at home. But maybe you're a plumber and you find out that the boss said, "Hey, look, we have to replace this main line under this house, and you can barely move underneath this house." And so you got cobwebs, you got all these things you got to deal with, and then you may be an electrician. Maybe the boss says, "Look, you have to go up in the attic of this house, and it's 140 degrees up there, and you need to change out this electrical wiring." Those kind of things happen. Maybe it's at your home, and maybe you have a child that has been sick, and you have to clean up after they have been sick. Any of these kind of things can happen to us, and there's these least desirable tasks that we have to do, and we may feel like we should be on that old show, Dirty Jobs. But it's times like this when you're doing something that you really don't want to have to tend with, but you have to step back and to gain the right perspective. That's what's so important for us. And this comes down to attitude. What kind of attitude are we holding? And the reality is that no matter what the task is, you have to do it. Whatever you do in your workplace or at home, not every job is extreme. That's something that we need to remember. If you think about it, there are things that you do at your job or maybe at home that you really like to do, that you enjoy to do those things. So just as long as your attitude hasn't become tainted. In the book of Colossians, there the apostle's writing to several different kinds of people, and he wraps up what he says with these great words there in Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 and 24. He says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving." See, this is a tough one for a lot of people. Many believers may miss out on the fact that no matter who they're working for, if it's that big company or a family business, that ultimately you need to work like you're working for the Lord. And there's no question that human leaders are going to mess up, that they're going to maybe demand too many things, or they may not treat people well, and that's why we have employment laws in our sinful world. They always are trying to get around those things. But on the other hand, those laws shouldn't keep us from doing a great job, even when the task is something we don't like to do. As a follower of Jesus, we need to be the kind of people whose ethics are solid. In other words, we do what we know is right. Not only that, but we need to be the kind of people who work hard for our organization, even if they aren't the best. But I'm not saying that we should continue working for an organization or a business that is immoral or destroys the lives of people. If that's the case, you need to start praying and searching and finding something, another option out there for work. But yet, you still need to give your honest day's work and be faithful to the mission. Paul says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord." You need to consider that the next time you're given a task that you despise. You come into work and they say, "Hey, look, you got to go do this," and you're like, "Hey, I don't want to do that. That's not what I was hired on for. I was hired on for my sweet spot, the place that you really like to work." Well, we all have those dirty jobs that we have to do, so to speak. And you may want to say to them, "Look, I have seniority over Corey. Let Corey do it, or let Jim do it, or somebody else. Let them handle that." But find a way to work through things like this. Don't let your attitude be tainted, and work at it with all your heart. Ultimately, you will find a way to work these kind of things out in your life. and just continue realizing or recognizing the fact that the Lord is the one who will give us a reward for how we treat others and how we work in this life. I pray that you have a great week and that you're strong in the Lord and that you work with everything you can and to bless others. May the Lord bless you and give you strength.